So we all know in 2010, when LeBron lost to the Boston Celtics in 6 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals, he decided to take his talents down to South Beach and join the Miami Heat. But what would have happened if LeBron went ahead and stayed in Cleveland his entire career? Would he be able to win 4 championships like he has now? Would he be able to get up to 5? Today, we're going to go ahead and find out. Our goal in this video is, can we win 5 championships with LeBron? Let's go ahead and find out. So as you can see right here, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers 2009 roster basically, but it is in 2010. Chris Bosh still went ahead and went to the Heat alongside with Dwayne Wade, and all of the rosters are from 2010 in the NBA. So obviously we have some work to do with this roster. This roster right now is absolutely terrible, so we need to make some trades before the season starts. So going into this first season, I wanted to trade away some of the older players on the roster. That's why we're trading away Antoine Jamison and Ilgauskas for Serge Ibaka. And then we're trading away Anderson Varejao for a first-round lottery protected pick that should land us a very, very solid player in next year's draft. And they're also trading away Anthony Parker for a very young JaVale McGee. So that should help the roster become a lot younger. You see right here, we have LeBron James, Serge Ibaka, Delonte West, Daniel Gibson, and a young JaVale McGee. So obviously we have a ways to go, but for the first season, I think this should be enough. So you see, we simulated through the first season and we end up winning about 49 games, which isn't too bad. It's going to make the playoffs and hopefully keep LeBron happy. As you can see, LeBron wins MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron's off to a successful start. We lose game 1, unfortunately, in the first round to the Hawks. We end up losing game 2 as well, and it looks like we're about to get swept, but we end up winning game 4 and we end up winning game 5. But unfortunately, that would not be enough, as we lose in the first round to the Hawks, and the Heat would go on to win the 2011 NBA championship. So now in the offseason, we have to hope we can land a very, very solid player to help us a lot next year. So after getting the 15th pick in the draft, we got very, very unlucky. I decided to, unload Serge Ibaka. He just wasn't fitting with LeBron. He wasn't the scorer or defender that we thought he was going to be. So we're trading him to the Sacramento Kings for the 4th overall pick and our 15th pick. So now that we have the 4th overall pick, we have the choice between Kemba Walker, Jimmy Butler, or Tristan Thompson. And I think we're going to go ahead and secure Jimmy Butler. Welcome to the Cavaliers. We have our shooting guard for the future, and I'm feeling really excited about this season already. So as you can see, as free agency is coming to an end, we got Samuel D'Alembert, Shane Battier, Kenyon Martin, and Andre Kirilenko. Now you're probably thinking these are probably not the players that are going to win a championship with LeBron, and I agree. That's why we signed them to 1-year deals, but I think this is enough to where we'll get back to the playoffs and keep LeBron happy. So going into year 2 of this rebuild, it's the 2011 and 2012 season. We got LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Andre Kirilenko, Kenyon Martin, Shane Battier, Mullins, and D'Alembert. So let's see how we do this season. 2012 season came about as expected. We win about 51 games, which honestly with that roster I would deem as a success. LeBron wins back-to-back MVPs. Kawhi wins Rookie of the Year, Manu wins Sixth Man, and LeBron wins another Defensive Player of the Year. Going into the playoffs in year 2 in 2012, we have the 3 seed this time going against the Orlando Magic. Now this series against the Magic shouldn't be too much of a problem for us, as we lose game 1, we win game 2, we win game 3, win game 4, and are we going to our first Eastern Conference semifinals with LeBron back on the Cavs? And we are. So here we are in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2012, going up against the Bulls, and they upset the Hawks in round 1. So we win game 1, we win game 2. Here in game 3, we win game 3. Are we going to go ahead and sweep the Bulls? We don't sweep them, 3-1, and we go ahead and we're headed to the Eastern Conference Finals here in 2012. So looking at this Eastern Conference Finals matchup, I'm not exactly sure how this Milwaukee Bucks team swept the Heat and they beat the Boston Celtics in 6 games. The Heat with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, who just went to the finals, and the Boston Celtics, who are really, really good at this time. So I have no idea how that happened, but let's go ahead and see what happens when we play them. We win game 1. Are we gonna just take care of them? Okay, the Bucks win game 2. We win game 3, game 4. Oh, it's 3-1. Then we're going to the finals, and we are going to the finals in 2012. I'm not exactly sure. This team isn't really that crazy. We're literally going there because of LeBron. 38 points, 38, 7, and 4. He took 23 shots, and it looks like we're going up against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. LeBron going up against Dirk yet again in the finals, but this time he's on the Cavs. So we're going to go ahead and simulate game 1. The Mavericks take game 1. Simulate game 2. Oh, no, this is not good. This is not good. Oh, God, we're going to get swept by the Mavericks. Oh, no. Don't do it to us, Dirk. We were doing so well. LeBron's going to have to carry us. It's going to be close. And it looks like we're going to come out game 4 with a narrow 10-point victory. So we're down 3-1. And LeBron and the Cavs are pretty much just LeBron come out with the dub in game 5. I don't think so. It's going to be close. LeBron, is he going to clutch up again? Okay, and we're still alive. Somehow, some way, LeBron has taken this series to 6 games after being down 3-0. Let's go ahead, go into Simcast and see what happens here in game 6 in the NBA Finals. We're at home. We have an early lead. We're blowing them out pretty much. Surely we don't blow this lead, and it's going to a game 7. We absolutely demolished them in game 6. LeBron drops 36, 10, and 9. He's absolutely willing his team to a championship. He wants to bring the first ever championship to Cleveland. So game 7, it all comes down to this. LeBron in game 7 going up against the Mavericks. What is going to happen? Are the Cavs going to go ahead and get the first ever reverse sweep in the NBA Finals? They have the lead. Oh my God, I think we're going to do it. Somehow, some way, on the road in game 7, the Cavs have come back from a 3-0 deficit in the NBA Finals, and they're going to go ahead and win the NBA Finals. I'm not exactly sure how this happened. The first ever comeback from 3-0, and here it is. The Cavs are celebrating their first ever championship in over 50 years. It didn't take till 2016. In this timeline, it only took till 2012 for LeBron James. There he is, sitting there wearing number 8. I'm not exactly sure why LeBron is number 8, but we'll just ignore that. The Cavs are champions. We already have one championship done. And of course, who else to win the Finals MVP but LeBron himself wearing number 8? It looks really, really weird. I probably should have changed that. So there we have it. The Cavs have won the NBA championship in our 2nd year of this rebuild. LeBron, obviously the Finals MVP. Look at those Finals number. Basically averaging a triple-double in the Finals is absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and get into free agency and see what we can do now. So after another successful offseason where I didn't really want to spend a ton of money on another max player, since we have to pay Jimmy Butler very soon. He is an 83 overall already, but we did go out and get George Hill on a decent contract. We got Kirilenko back again. We got Marcus Morris Sr. at 23 years old on a pretty good contract as well. We got CJ Miles. We brought Kenyon Martin back. We got JaVale McGee still on the roster from last year. So after simulating all the way through the 2012-2013 season, we come up just short of 50 wins. A little bit worse than last year, but again, LeBron wins his 3rd MVP in a row. So I would say the decision of staying in Cleveland pretty much panned out for him. He has 3 MVPs in a row and a ring already. Going into the playoffs, we are the 4th seed this time around. When we won the championship last year, we were the 3rd seed. So let's go ahead and see how we do this year in the playoffs. So obviously our goal this year in the playoffs was to get back to the NBA Finals and win yet another championship for LeBron. And you see it would come down to game 7 in the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Miami Heat. LeBron versus D Wade, and we would narrowly come out with the victory, 102-78. LeBron dropped 37, 7, and 9. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, it would come down to game 6 against the Boston Celtics. And again, we would come out with a very, very narrow victory, 92-80. And then it would come down to the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, they win the first 2 games, but we would come back and win the next 2 games. So it would come down to a game 5 where the Thunder would take the victory. And in game 6, we would win by 7, 106-99. So it comes down to this. Game 7 against the Thunder and Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. And unfortunately, we would not come out with the dub this time. We would lose in the NBA Finals, coming just short of a 2nd ring for LeBron. So now we have to go into year 4, hoping to get another ring. Okay, so going into year 4 of this rebuild, obviously our main goal is we literally have to sign LeBron. Even if he doesn't sign with us, we'll have to force him back on the team, but we're going to try and sign him straight up. He declined his player option. Not very surprising because we haven't really built a crazy roster around him. We are obviously going to accept Jimmy Butler's team option. So we'll get Jimmy Butler back, and now we just have to try and get LeBron back. So the max it's letting me offer LeBron is 41 million. So we'll try and get him a player option as well. Hopefully he stays, and he agreed. Okay, so LeBron agreed to his contract, 4 years, 186 million. So we have LeBron locked down for at least another 4 years. So looking at our roster going into year 4 or 2013-2014 season, we have LeBron, Jimmy Butler, George Hill, Bogut, Noah, Gerald Green, and Marcus Morris. So when looking at trades, I think I found this one that I like. We do have to give up a 1st round pick that is top 3 protected, but we're not really worried about that. LeBron's not trying to draft any more rookies. So we're going to go ahead and pull this trade off with Carlos Boozer. I think this gives us a lot more scoring. Coming down to the end of the season, this is by far the best team we've had. We won 64 games. We won 64-18. LeBron wins his 4th MVP, and we are the #1 seed after going 64-18. By far the best team in the NBA. This is easily the best roster we've had so far, and it should be a championship as long as anything crazy doesn't happen. I think we could go ahead and just simulate the round and go ahead and win against the Knicks. It's actually... There's no way. There's just absolutely no way. How do we lose to the Knicks 4-2 with the best record in the NBA? Carmelo Anthony, Kenyon Martin, Amari Stoudemire, Chauncey Billups, who has to be almost 50 at this point, and LeBron literally just choked. 12 points in a closeout game, LeBron?
Uh-oh.
So going into our 5th year of this simulation, we have George Hill, Jimmy Butler, Danny Granger I was able to pick up in free agency. Alongside George Hill, we brought him back. We put LeBron at power forward because we kind of had to, and then we brought back Bogut as well because he was under contract. So going into this year with a very, very solid roster, we end up winning 56 games. LeBron wins another MVP and another DPOY. That's just expected at this point. And in the first round, it would actually come down to another Game 7, this time up against the Atlanta Hawks, and we would come out with a 4-point victory. Then we would go ahead, simulate round 2, and we would sweep the Indiana Pacers, the #1 seed. We would go to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we'd end up beating the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games. And we would go up against James Harden, Rajon Rondo, Jabari Parker in the NBA Finals. A pretty solid team, if I do say so myself, but it would prove not enough for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. As you see, we're up 3-0 in this series, coming down to a Game 4 in Houston, and they would actually come out with the dub, but that doesn't matter because in Game 5 at home, the Cavs will come out with the dub, 89-75, and just like that, LeBron has his 2nd ring in Cleveland, bringing yet another championship, and now we have 2 out of 5 for our goal in this video. Just like that, we have yet another championship under our belts. LeBron putting up crazy stats like he's going to. And then going into the 2015-16 season, we will have the same nucleus of George Hill, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jimmy Butler, LeBron, and Bogut. A very, very solid core. Pretty much for the rest of the simulation, that was the core we were rocking with. You see, we win another 58 games. LeBron wins another MVP, another DPOY. Again, it's pretty much expected at this point. And in this year's playoffs, we go up against the Pacers, and unfortunately, we would lose in the 2nd round to the Pacers. What are you going to do against a team with Paul George, Chris Paul, and Valanciunas? And you see the Spurs would go on to win the NBA Finals that year. We'd have another successful season, another successful year for LeBron. And in the 2nd round, you see we're down 3-0 against the Wizards. Another successful season gone, wasted away in the playoffs. And going down to the 2017-2018 season, you know LeBron's gonna win MVP, and we would find ourselves in the finals against the Rockets, and LeBron, Ben Simmons acquired in the offseason, and of course Jimmy Butler would go up against James Harden, Jabari Parker, and Rajon Rondo again in the finals. And this time the Cavs would not be denied. They win in 5 games, and just like that, LeBron is hoisting his 3rd finals MVP in this video. Now in 2018 and 2019, we would have another crazy successful year. We would go up against the Mavericks in the finals and win our 4th championship. And then going into the next year, 2019 and 2020, we would win 66 games. We find ourselves in the finals against Giannis, Jokic, and then we still have obviously Ben Simmons and LeBron, and we would end up winning in 6 games. We defeat Giannis and Jokic, an absolutely insane team. The Cavs would go on to win their 5th championship in this video. LeBron celebrating with the city of Cleveland, winning 5 championships. Was the decision to stay in Cleveland successful? I think so.